Well, welcome back. Today is a very special day. As promised, we begin reading the war year extracts from my father's memoir, The Last Mile. Make sure you press the follow button so you don't miss an episode. We start Dad's story in part 4, The War Years. Bear in mind that Dad was 20 when the war broke out. He'd been a boxer and then a travelling entertainer in a vaudeville show for 2 years, and he loved that life. He was always a cheerful, glass half full sort of bloke, and was not afraid of challenges that came his way. He knew he was going to join up, but was worried about not leaving any offspring behind in the event that something happened to him. So the war, in a way, prompted an early marriage to my mother, and my brother was born within the first year. I'll let Earl take up the story from here.
In 1939, while we were in Nambour, Mr Menzies, the Prime Minister, announced that we were at war with Germany. I was all fired up with joining the RAAF to become a fighter pilot. I didn't like the idea of going off and not leaving any offspring. I was 19 and asked my parents for permission to marry Thelma. Mum didn't make any comment, leaving it to Dad, who hummed and hawed a bit and finally said, "I suppose if you're old enough to go to war, you're old enough to get married." Then he added, "Being young and foolish as you are, I'd say your marriage will last about 6 weeks." Boy, did I prove him wrong. I was the first and only love that Thelma had, and our union lasted 63 years before my dear girl passed away. We went back to Bundaberg to talk to her mother about it, and she said, "I'll not do anything until October 1st, when Thelma will turn 18. This was only a couple of days away. On the morning of the 1st of October, she swept us both up into a great hug and gave us a blessing. Thal and I were married on the 6th of February 1940 in the registry office at Bundaberg. It was a memorable day because we rode our bicycles to and from the registry offices. The only problem was I doubled our matron of honour, May Lister, who was married to Fred Philippi, Thelma's uncle. Thelma never let me forget that, and she reminded me about it at every opportunity for years. Our first year as husband and wife was a wonderful time, and we were blessed with a son, Rodney Allen Coomber, who was born on the 9th of December, 1940. At last I felt things were falling into place, and I might turn my idea of being a fighter pilot into reality. My younger brother Laurie harboured the same thought, and we decided to go together to enlist and try to stay together. This wasn't to be, however. Where he had no troubles at all, I failed the physical test. Me, who had been a boxer, axeman, and had turned my hand to a range of physical labours, had whooping cough when I was a child, and that left me with perforated eardrums, which they said would affect me at altitude, so I didn't pass. I suppose I could have asked to go on as ground crew like armour or something like that, but I was a bit stroppy at being refused, so I just walked out. Laurie was accepted and went to England, where he became part of a bomber team and flew 79 missions over Germany and the Middle East during his tour of duty. 1941 was moving along, but as I was still smarting from the knockback, I made no effort to join any of the forces. The Navy didn't appeal to me one bit, which left only the Army, and the prospect of joining that mob didn't fill me with any great joy. Then on the 7th of December 1941, Japan struck at Pearl Harbor, and that decided me. I thought the next thing you know, they'd be heading down here, so I'd better go.